How y'all doing once again, man? It's your boy L Dog back in the building, man. Larry Reactions, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all already know what we here to talk about, man. Power. Book of Ghosts. Episode 5. Man, let's talk about it. I'm going to try to hit the key points. It's a lot went on in this episode. I didn't get a chance to upload the video for the last episode. A lot of technical difficulties, man. Internet been acting up. So, here we are. But, man, this episode, man. Wow. So, we start off, as y'all know, Detective Whitman is no longer with us. I said it. Your motherfucking ass, you're digging too deep. And he is no longer with us. So, shout out to Detective Whitman, courtesy of Monet. Doing too much ass. She's reckless. She's reckless, but you know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot. It's a lot. You know. Especially the events that happened in this episode. So I'm just gonna start it off. So the cops, they all at Monet house. They investigating the murder or the shooting of Whitman. As y'all know, it was a setup. Diana went wanting to confess, talking about she want to find out what really happened to Zeke. And of course, y'all know Whitman thinks that Monet has something to do with it. So she was like, well, they're not going to be at the house. You know, you can go in and get it or whatever, information or whatever like that. So he ends up coming to the house when they're not there, thinking that they were not there. And when he gets to the staircase, Diana's there. And Diana instantly dials 911. I knew it was like a setup. I didn't think they were going to kill him. I thought that they were just going to get him discredited since he was already on suspension. You know what I'm saying? Just call the police and then he'll be suspended indefinitely. He might even be, they might even put him in a fucking cell for a little bit. But nah, Monet had other plans. She came in that motherfucking pop. And then before she shot him, she said, tell that bitch Carrie I said what up. Damn. Wow. And we still don't know if she killed Carrie. I mean, it's looking like she ain't denying it, so it wouldn't surprise me. It just wouldn't surprise me. So Jenny is interrogating Monet. And she is pressing hard than a motherfucker. But Davis is there. Davis is advising Monet, hey, don't say anything. And he talking to Jenny like, hey, my client has done this. It's a perfect alibi, you know, blase. Nothing else needs to be said. That's it. An intruder was in her home and she protected her family. That's it. I mean, the law is the law. What else happened? Yeah, so, and I know I'm all over the place, y'all, but a lot happened. So I'm gonna get back to that, but I'm gonna go into Tariq. Okay, so of course y'all know they closed the deal with RSJ, that the black billionaire guy. So they're talking about merging with this company over in Italy. So of course they're talking about taking a trip over there to Italy. Now at first Tariq wasn't even going, but RSJ insisted that Tariq goes. And then Tariq, you know, saying, hey, you know, I had plans with my girl this weekend. It's like, shit, cool. She can come too. So Tariq, Braden, and Effie, they going on this trip overseas to Italy to see about this company with RSJ. So they get over there and, I mean, the shit really hits the fan. I mean, it really hits the fan. And so they end up having a board meeting with the company that they're supposed to be going business with. And of course, Effie looks up dirt on the company. And I think RSJ really taking a liking to Tariq. And he mentions Ghost. He mentions his dad a lot. I'm thinking he know Ghost. I'm thinking he know Tariq's dad some kind of way. I would not be surprised if they did some business together. Or he said in this episode his dad was a like a bookie, like he ran numbers. I would not be surprised if his dad ran with Ghost in the past. It wouldn't surprise me. But anyway, so they're in Italy after the meeting's over with and everything. Before they even left on the flight, before they even got on the plane, Braden, he all hyped up, he ready to go. And, he talking to Kiki, the assistant chick, they gave him some for doing, for getting rid of that white dude that was in the office or whatever. And, Kiki like that personal assistant, you know what I'm saying? And this fool dropped his phone before they got on the plane. So Kiki picks up the phone and she sees all those texts about their drug business coming to Braden's phone. I was like, God damn it, Braden. What the hell? Now this chick done seen all these texts, and that's coming up in the next episode. I'm almost for sure. And she's gonna want to be a part of it. But fast forward, in the midst of them being in Italy, Effie and Tariq, they decided to go out on a lunch date. So they went out to lunch and they got to talking about their future, talking about where they see themselves, you know what I'm saying? And Tariq don't want to do this forever, but it's some things you're just destined to do, and trouble is always going to follow Tariq. I mean, his name, the St. Patrick name, is always going to be there. He's destined to be a boss. He's destined to be the leader of an empire. Like, it's in him. You can tell. That's what this whole season, I mean, from season 1, this what all this was about the whole time. But anyway, so they're sitting there discussing their future, their possible future together. And all of a sudden, Noma walk up. Holy shit. She was in Italy. The look on their face is like, what the fuck? And I already said, man, she gotta go. She has got to go. And I think she kind of dumb anyway, because they underestimate Tariq. That son bitch is smart. He ain't no dummy. So they task them with receiving a recording device from one of her. She said it was her ex, one of her exes, but he's also one of her biggest competitors. Mecca knew about him, and it's a lot of stuff that Mecca did for Noma that, Tariq has to pick up the duties since Mecca's no longer with us. So she wants them to go to the mansion, to go to Francesca, some friend's mansion, and get this recording device that was planted there. Wow. I mean, some real espionage type shit, some spy shit. and they using the fact that Noma knows that Tariq's there with RSJ. RSJ got pulled. So what better way than to use that pool to get into this exclusive party that her competitor just happened to be, throwing. That way they can get in and get the device for Noma. And basically Noma come with the same shit. You know what happens if you fail me? I'll kill you. Yeah. You've been saying that shit for the past 3 episodes. Okay. We get it. So they get invited to the party. They're there. And they already got a scheme, a plan to get this recording device. Because she told them what the location is, the room. Not the exact location, but she told them the room that it was in. So Effie and Braden, they're in the room. They're looking for it. Braden finds it. But Effie, she's kind of watching the door, one door, because there's multiple doors. She's watching the door that she's thinking somebody will most likely walk through. So Braden is under there. He's reaching for the damn device, and then all of a sudden, one of the guards come through the door and be like, "What the fuck you doing?" He starts speaking language and shit like that, man. And they take Braden. Effie walks back in. She hears this going on, and she like, "Oh shit." So she reaches up under that table and she grabs the device and put it in the purse. Another guard walks in, but Effie, Effie charmed his ass. Effie, gave him a bullshit story talking about, "Oh, I was wondering if I could see his private art collection." And the dude showed her. But at this point, it's worried about Braden. What the fuck are they taking Braden? Like, shit getting thick. Shit getting real thick. What else had happened? Yeah. Braden is basically getting tortured. He's getting his ass kicked in his room. He got like 3-4 guards going to work on him. And that dude, Francesco, or whatever his name is, he watching on. Braden sitting up tied up like, "Man, look, I got money. My family got money." The dude already looked up his family and everything, know exactly who he is. The dude want to know, why were you here searching? Who are you working for? And Braden ain't gonna tell that shit, because he's just as good as dead if he do that. So Effie and Tariq, they back at the room. They calling, they blowing Braden phone up. They wondering why he's not answering. What the fuck is going on? They like, "I called this motherfucker 100 times. Why the fuck he ain't answering?" So they find out that, hey, Braden got abducted. Like he's he is indisposed at the moment. So they got to come up with a plan to get him out. So their plan is to hey, we got this recording device with all this dirt on this dude on it. Let's do a trade. And I mean, that's what ends up happening. Or Braden's gonna be, Braden ain't gonna make it. So they meet up at this it's like a construction site. And they make the deal. And while they're making the deal, the dude put the gun to Tariq's head. Braden get out. Braden all beat up. The dude said, "Look, I'll take your life. You tell me what I want to know, and Effie and Braden can live." And then all of a sudden, snipers. Everybody get killed. All those guys, including that Francesca guy, get killed. Norma walk around the corner. Like, I underestimated you guys. You guys did good. Better than what I thought you were gonna do. Like, she had snipers set up on the mountain, on the hill, on the other side of the construction site. Like, she is not a game. She is not a game. But she tells Tariq that, I've underestimated you. You're more clever than what I thought. And basically putting more pressure on them for them to work for her. She gotta go. She has to go. There's no way, and she kind of crazy for not putting, like I said, she's kind of crazy for not killing Tariq right then and there. That motherfucker's smart. That motherfucker's too smart. But she gotta go. She gotta go. This is not freedom. They're working for her. Okay, so something else that happened. The relationship between Jenny and Saxe. Okay, so y'all know in the last episode, Saxe sensed a little bit of dishonesty in Jenny. He put out that line talking about, "I ain't know they were giving whole phones out." Wow. Saxe. So this episode, Saxe follows Jenny. He calls her, see if she pick up her phone. She just looked at the phone and just hung it up. Saxe continued to follow her, and I knew this shit was gonna happen. Followed her to the house that she's keeping Lauren in. Saxe walked up that porch, walked up them steps, and the guard's there, and the guard confronted Saxe, and Saxe was like, "Look, I'm looking for Jenny. She knows me." And then Jenny comes outside talking about, "Saxe, what the hell are you doing here?" And Saxe is like, "I just want to know, what are you hiding from me? You know, you putting pressure on me to go against my boss, Davis, to get some dirt on him, to turn my back on him, and I'm risking my career for you. And I feel like this is dishonest. This is not what a partnership is about." And Saxe feel like he taking all the risk. And he's like, "Who the hell are you hiding in there?" And they're going back and forth. And clearly, Jenny only cares about herself and her career. That's all she care about. Meanwhile, Saxe putting his fucking career on the line, on the verge that he could lose his career for her, to build a case against Tariq and the Tejadas. And what this scene really showed me is that Saxe cares about Jenny, or cared about Jenny. It might even be some love there. But I tell you what, when Lauren came to that door and Lauren walked outside, that look on Saxe's face, he looking like, what the fuck? What? Wow. And then he goes on a rant and he's telling Lauren, "Well, look here, sweetheart. Tariq didn't have anything with anybody trying to kill you. Tariq loves you. Don't believe anything Jenny says, because she'll say anything to build her case for the feds, to further her career." Saxe got some brownie points with me for that. For real. For real. For real. Man, I love that Saxe did that shit. So now Saxe, he ain't a piece of shit no more. Now he just he ain't a sack of shit. He done graduated to grimy asshole. That's it. But the kicker, the end of the episode. So Kane already knows about Lorenzo killing Zeke. Okay. So Monet already started putting two and two together. That she killed somebody that didn't have anything to do with Zeke dying. And she already knew that something was up. Especially with the whole shit that was going on in the last episode with Kane, with Lorenzo going with everything that Kane was wanting to do. It was just, it was a little fishy. So this chick, she started, Uncle Frank, the one that they end up killing because he was a rat. And that was Kane. Kane was the one that killed him. So she went to see Uncle Frank's wife, and she told Uncle Frank that, I know I shouldn't tell you this, but Lorenzo put out the hit on your husband to kill him. And already, she trying to pit people against Lorenzo, because like I said, she already kind of knew. She already knew what was going on. Yeah. So Monet is already, she just setting this shit up. She just setting this whole thing up for him to get killed. So she talks to Gordo, and as y'all know, Gordo is seeing Drew, Monet's other son. And She's sitting there on the stoop, on the porch. Gordo pulls up to the house. And Gordo comes up and they got to talking about, grieving. Monet asked Gordo, how long did it take for you to get over your father dying? And, she was like, is the anger always there? And, Gordo was like, the anger never leaves. But I tell you what, if I ever found the motherfucker that did it, I'll slit his throat. She was already planting the seeds. She was already planting the fucking seeds. She hated that shit when Diana got him out of jail. But maybe it's because she wanted to lead a life alone. And Zeke was her ticket out. But I feel like if you wouldn't have been doing this shit with Mecca, really, on honest truth, you wouldn't have been doing this shit with Mecca, what you was doing, Lorenzo would have never been at the airstrip in the first place. I'm just saying. I mean, I get it. Shit happens. And there's repercussions. But, man. So, finally, what ends up happening, Lorenzo ends up telling Monet what really happened. And Monet lost her shit. Monet throwing shit, they punching him, they going back and forth. She said, you need to get whatever. You need to get the fuck out of my house and get the fuck out of New York. This was, and those conversations she was having with Uncle Frank's family, this was before this. This was before this conversation. She was already planting the fucking seeds. That bitch is she's a motherfucker. So I guess they're gonna have one last family dinner. This what the setup was. They was gonna have one last family dinner. Monet was already told Lorenzo, we're gonna separate. We'll tell the kids that, we're separated. We're just having some issues, whatever like that. So they all sitting around in the living room. Lorenzo ain't there. I believe it was Diana. Diana asked, where's Poppy? I don't know. I guess he running a little late or whatever like that. So all of a sudden you see Lorenzo, he out at the store or whatever like that. You can tell he a little tipsy. His tire on flat. It's a nail in it. So you pull the nail out, he goes to the trunk to get the spare. As soon as he go to the trunk and get the spare, somebody come up and slit his goddamn throat. Lorenzo died. And when they revealed who it was fucking Gordo. Gordo said exactly what he would do to the motherfucker if he found out who killed his dad. He slit his goddamn throat and he bled out. He died right there on the sidewalk. And then while Monet was in the living room with the kids, Monet got that text, it's done. Now, I'm going to tell you who going to lose their shit, them kids. Because when this shit gets out, Monet is truly not going to have anybody. She's not going to have anybody. And who I think is going to hit the hardest? Diana. It's going to hit Diana the hardest. I mean, meaning the kids turning against Monet. Kane, I'm kind of, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to hit him. They bond got a little stronger since the last episode. Lorenzo saved his life. And they got, he realized that he was wrong for how he was treating his dad. And it was a mistake. And they bond had got very strong. Drew, the fact that Drew missing with Gordo and Gordo killed his dad, that's gonna be a fucking problem. It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. Wow. And then, something I've been waiting on since this shit came back on TV. Tariq gets a text saying, meet me the south of campus. He don't know who the fuck it is. He looking at the number like it's unrecognizable. So that's all I can guess. It was a an unregistered number. So he goes, and then all of a sudden, it's fucking Lauren. Lauren walking up to him, and Lauren got a box cutter in her hand. Lauren just want the truth. Tariq looking like he's seen a fucking ghost. It's crazy. They talking, they ranting back and forth. Tariq like, where the fuck have you been? And Lauren said, I've been in protective custody. And Tariq said, you're the CI? You're the informant? And then Lauren goes to tell what happened that night. And Lauren begs and tells Tariq, do not say anything. Do not say a word, because Jenny and Blanca, they're building a case against you to take you down. So, wow. So when Tariq gets back to his dorm room, Effie's still there asleep. And he get back in bed, and Effie like, there's something I gotta tell you. And Reek, that stare that Reek just giving off, he just sit there in the bed. And then she just kind of blew it off, blew what she was gonna say off, and said and told him that she loved him. That look in Reek's face, like you lying bitch. I don't know, y'all. What y'all think? I don't know. I do not know. I don't think Effie gonna make it. I kept saying that shit when this shit hit the fan. But I'm thinking Braden gonna tell it first. But like I said, it's interesting because Reek cannot say anything. Reek's not gonna say anything. He just gonna let it play out until it's time for some action. This episode, I am not disappointed. I know, like I said, I try to get to the key points. Even in the key points, there's so much that went on in this episode. And I try not to hold y'all long, but it's just got to be talked about. This is damn good television. Damn good television. But as usual, y'all comment down below what y'all think gonna happen and what y'all thought about this episode. And make sure y'all like and subscribe. God bless the Fed. Whoa.